Welcome to the Body Goals podcast by Tough Team. My name is Adam Glossop and I'm the head coach here at Tough. And we have our fellow host, Christy. Christy, how you going?
Very good, thank you.
And today on the podcast, we're going to be catching up with Natalie. Natalie, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, thank you.
Thanks for coming into visiting the podcast, being on the show and to talk about your journey.
Yeah.
So to kick off today, let's just start off with our first question.
Yep.
Which, Nat, can you tell us about your fat loss history before you came to Tough?
Sure. So it's been like an ongoing thing for me since before I came to Tough. Probably one of the worst was I was living in Melbourne and my goal was to compete, and I went and found a coach and all the rest of it. She was really well known around Melbourne. And so she put me on a diet, all was good, and then she took away all my fats and my carbs. So I was probably on maybe 800 calories a day for about 2 months, I would say.
What were you doing? What did she have you on before then?
I would have been close about 1100, 1200. Not much at all.
Were you losing fat on that?
No, she never measured us or anything. Like she just got us to send photos, and of course you're going to send your best photos.
So you walked in day one and you said, I want to compete, and then straight away you gave you this program.
Yes, yeah. She gave me
and
a
it
program.
was straight away, what were you doing?
Like 1200 calories.
Oh wow.
Chicken and broccoli,
And weight
Standard.
training?
Weight training, yeah.
Chicken, broccoli.
Yeah, yeah.
And so then you weren't getting results, and so then she reduced you to what, maybe
So what did she do?
800 calories
Yeah,
or
it was
something
about
with
that.
all of the
It
fats
was
and carbs?
No fats, no carbs, but eat whatever you want on a Saturday night.
So how did that work for you?
As you can imagine, that worked out not too great. I would finish work at 3 o'clock on a Saturday and the eat-a-thon would begin.
Eat-a-thon. Great.
It would start at 3 o'clock. I would
Yeah.
start by getting the jars of Natalia out of the cupboard, eating that from just straight out of the container, eating bits of toast, just picking at every single thing that I could.
So in inverted commas, that was like your cheat meal.
My cheat meal was
or as
just
we cheat day.
Yeah.
So it was Saturday night or Saturday
It was just
day?
one meal on a Saturday.
But it started at 2 and finished at what time?
It
10?
started at 3 and finished about 9 o'clock.
Wait.
So I just
So you said one meal,
one meal. Yeah.
but what happened?
It turned into a whole day.
Right.
So and it was just.
And how were your results? Did you get results from that?
No, nothing. I was starving and felt horrible during the week, and then essentially I would just eat just until I felt sick on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Until I I remember one time I went home from dinner and I ordered like pizza, chips, then I had ice cream. I actually had to take my pants off to drive home because I had eaten so much food. And then I still got home and ate more.
So
Oh, wow.
do you actually think that was your misunderstanding of the program, or was there not enough information about that day, not enough guidelines around it, or you just did that?
I just did that.
Because your body was just
My
taking
body
over.
yeah.
Well, the
Your
body
body
doesn't.
wanted that
My
Force
mind,
myself.
binging.
It was like a binging. It was like I couldn't stop. It was like one of those
couldn't
things
stop.
where I could not stop myself. Like
Yeah.
I know people will be like, well, just don't eat it, but it's just, I don't know, something would come over me and I would just scoff, and it was just never and obviously that is why I didn't get any results. So
Did you gain?
no, I think I just sort of maintained
Okay.
because I was obviously
And that's kind of a common problem that even our clients can fall into. Obviously, we don't have them down at that low calories. We have them so that they're feeling good as much as possible. Photoshoot, they might be on pretty low calories in the last week or so, but not even that low, because you want to be kind of getting some energy from fats or carbs. But a common problem that just even Gen Pop can fall into is they have their one cheat meal, and they can be in a calorie deficit all week, but we're not against cheat meals or refeeds or free meals
But they go all Dwayne
but
Johnson.
you have to be careful. Like, for example, John Berardi from Precision Nutrition, who's a world-renowned nutritionist. I remember he told of one time that he was in a calorie deficit all week, so maybe 300 to 500 calories deficit all week. And then him being a nutritionist went out for dinner, chose what he thought was the healthy option for dinner, and then had a piece of cheesecake. And it wasn't until after he realised, I think maybe there was 5,000 calories in that one meal, which put him out of fat loss for that whole week, and in fact probably put him in a bit of a surplus. So even when you do, we're not against having free meals, but you do have to, because you can undo all of your bad work just in one meal. So we usually will say, set some rules around it so that the cheat meal lasts when you sit down, as soon as your bum leaves the chair.
No removal of pants.
So as the nutritionist, Christy, what guidelines do you set around those extra meals that you're talking about? So
Well, I'm so glad you asked, Adam. So you sit down, you have your free meal. Once your bum leaves the chair, that's it. So that doesn't count wearing an adult diaper and going from 12 till 9 at night. It's the one meal, eat what you want, and then we'll say drink a couple of glasses of water beforehand to help fill up your tummy, and then eat really slowly and mindfully. So enjoy it, not stuff it down and shove it down your mouth and try and get in as much as possible, but really enjoy it, and maybe even kind of, chew your food, be mindful, and think, have I had enough? Am I satisfied now? Or if I keep eating, am I even enjoying it, or am I just eating it for the sake of it? And it's actually a really good thing. That's actually a really good thing for everyone all the time, is to be really mindful when they eat, that to stop and slow down and not be doing something else, not be watching TV, not be doing your work or whatever, to be mindful and eat really slowly and recognize when you're satisfied and like, no, I'm cool, I'm satisfied, I can stop now.
Yeah.
Rather than just eating what's on your plate or shoveling it down because it's yum or something.
So we're kind of jumping ahead from what we kind of planned to, we wanted to chat about later, but you did the photo shoot, and you would have experienced this type of meal.
Yeah.
How did you implement those guidelines and recommendations, or did you just go straight in?
No, for photo shoot, I didn't have.
Talk about, say you finished the photo shoot.
I finished the photo shoot.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I think I did really well with my reversing after the photo
You
shoot.
did very well.
I maintained for quite a while, and then I think I tipped over.
Slightly.
Only very slightly, maybe about 3 or 4 months afterwards.
Yeah. And that was just because we were pushing your calories up.
Yeah, I pushed it up really quite high, and I tracked. That's what I did after the photo shoot, which I found really good. I really enjoyed kind of figuring out what foods I could have and make it fit, and I liked doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So was
So
there
a very good example of post photo shoot.
Yeah, I really liked it.
What I was talking about specifically is this extra meal and implementing that, those strategies around. So did Christy ever give you, say, a Sunday free meal or whatever it was?
Yeah.
And how did that strategy help you, or
It helped me. It was good. I had a so every week, during the week, I would stick to my calories 100%, and then on the Saturday night I'd go out for dinner and I'd have dessert as well. And that was it. I didn't continue on with it because I really wanted to maintain, I didn't want to get fat again, or I didn't want to put any weight, I didn't want to put a lot of weight on, and I didn't want to put body fat on, because as well, in the back of my mind, the bigger goal was my comp, so I didn't want to get too far away from that, so I think that helped me as well.
So would you agree then, because you finished the photo shoot, you set a new goal, so you had a new focus, and it could keep you on track because of goal setting?
Yeah, definitely awesome. Needed that goal in mind.
So you came to us and you started off with 12-week transformation.
Yeah.
And then how long was it before you did photo shoot?
Because I wanted to, it was a good 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember when I first came to Tough, I wanted to do the photo shoot, and you were like, maybe we'll do this challenge first, and you know, obviously you want to get to a certain body fat percentage.
Yeah, and we want to get to know your body, and
yeah. And then the first one came up, and I wasn't really losing fat, but that was my doing. That was my picking.
Yeah, which is
like picking at things in between meals and not even thinking, like just not.
That's very common.
Yeah, just like just a little spoonful of rice, or I'll just have a few bits of watermelon that's sitting there, or
it's so
tiny
common,
little things.
And people don't realise that it all adds up.
That all added up. And I was just eating out a lot still. I was eating, I know like grilled and stuff's fine, but I was having it too often. In those first 12 weeks, I'd have it a couple of times a week. Like,
it might be healthy sources. They're using quality meat, and but it's still very.
It's tipping me over my calories. I'd have that as one meal. Yeah. So when it's the calories of two.
Yeah, but then you started to get good results, and then you did our.
Then I did the
Photoshoot transformation and killed it.
Yes. Yeah, that was cool. I'm glad I waited, because I feel like I had the diet a little bit more an understanding of the way to eat and stuff like that. Obviously, I still had a few little slip ups in my photo shoot, but I knew.
I haven't heard about this. I'm joking.
Minor slip ups. Minor slip ups. Just little things like I was having.
No, you killed your photo shoot transformation.
I was really proud of myself. I remember I had little tears of joy at the end, because I was like, I can't believe I did it.
And what's your current goal? Not your current goal, but for the listeners.
Stage. Yeah, I'm going to compete in February. So
how long have you wanted to do that for?
I have wanted to compete since I was about 23, so I'm 30 now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's been a very, very long-term goal of mine, and I've just never found a good coach. I've never found a good environment until I came here, and I never had friends that were doing it with me. And I've made some really good friends at Tough, and it just makes I just feel like maybe I was never really ready to do it, whereas now I feel like I've just got everything around me is just it's the right time.
How much importance would you place on the friends part? So having friends who who support you, have the same goals.
It's the best thing. It's the best, because I had a lot of friends previously. I still am friends with them, but I don't see them very often. And they were always very.
Listen to this podcast.
They can listen. It's something that comes up quite often over the years as we've been dealing with people who are on their journey. I hate the word, but that's what it is. And it seems like there's people, and they can be families, and they can all family members, and they can also be your friends. But you, there was one aspect of your transformation, and I'd like to bring up, and you kind of touched on it there, that you had a colleague who was a big interference, and I remember having meetings with you, and you discussed this. I just would always be told that you've been trying to lose weight for so long. It's obviously not working. Like, why don't you just give up? Like, you're never going to do that. You're not a Victoria's Secret model. What's the point? Just stuff like that. Like, I remember one time I was like, I want to lose this bit of fat, and it was like, my lower back fat, and my friend was like, no, that's your glutes. Like, you don't need to lose fat. That's your glute muscle all the way up there. And I was like, oh, really? Okay. And just really trying to tell me not to do it and tell me to give up, because, basically I was never going to get where I wanted to be, because, my body doesn't like it, or whatever excuse it was. So that was a friend that we used to bond a lot over going out and eating a lot of junk food together. And now that I don't do that.
She didn't want to lose that.
No, she didn't want to lose that. And and now we don't really see each other very often, because I don't.
It's a very tricky topic, really, is it? Because you think that friends often have the best intentions. They're thinking that they're trying to help you. But in this case, it was one of the biggest obstacles that you had to overcome,
so hard.
To achieve the goals that you wanted to achieve. Maybe being devil's advocate, they were trying to make you feel better.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I find there's lots of parents, there's lots of friends that kind of make you feel better out of actually achieving your goal. So
Yeah.
it's like, oh, you know, you've worked really, really hard. You deserve this,
Yeah.
whatever
You
the cheat
deserve
meal
it.
was, or
Yes.
oh,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, there's a
a
lot of
little bit of
fat.
fat is okay. You know, there's kind of this imbalance between, you know, fat shaming somebody, which
Yeah.
you know shouldn't be done,
No.
and having a healthy body image,
Yeah.
and then being actually healthy.
Yeah, I remember I got the pictures back from my friend's wedding, and I was just like, oh my gosh, how have I let, you know, I'm not happy with what I see, you know, and that's, you know, and I don't know why my friends then weren't like, oh, you know, if you're not happy, then do something about it, rather than trying to tell me not to, you know, it's like, I'm allowed to feel how I want to feel.
Yeah, and losing weight and exercising and getting fit is
Yeah.
A good
healthy.
thing.
It's a good thing.
Always a good thing.
Always a good thing. So I joined Tough, and yeah.
So you mentioned the environment a little bit before. I'd like to dive into that. So
Yeah.
can you tell us about how the environment in the gym contributed to your success?
It's just always just having those like fun and happy people around you, and people that are doing the same sort of thing as well. People that you can talk to about it as well. Like I feel like that really helps.
They're on the
Yeah.
same path.
Yeah,
They have
everyone,
a
people are
similar
on the
goal.
same path, and then
Yeah.
you know the nice part now is that people were like you coming up to me and asking me about how I did what I've done, and that makes me
Oh,
feel
do you?
really good.
Yeah.
You know, and I just think, oh wow, like someone, you know,
Yeah.
thinks
And
what I've
often
done's awesome.
we get new people come in and they sit here and I chat to them and tell them all about Tough and stuff, and I'll often get, oh yeah, I want to look like her, or you know, they kind of say, oh, I want to look like her, but yeah, many people have said, oh, I want to look like you.
Aw, yeah, and that
So
makes
you're
me
an
feel
inspiration
good.
to
Yeah,
other
and I
people.
never thought that I would be.
Yeah.
You know, I never thought that, you know, someone would be like, oh wow, I want to look like that. I
Yeah.
never thought that would happen.
So if you were to say something to, like, obviously you remember yourself back then, but
Yeah.
looking back to that, what would you tell yourself that would have changed or gotten you there quicker?
I would have stopped listening to everyone else telling me what to do. I would have just done what I wanted to do. You know, I would have just. In some ways, I feel like they did sabotage what I wanted, by like bringing in food and like feeding feeders. Like there was a few feeders around me, and that, you know, I would have just been like, no, I don't want that. Like, you know, instead of trying to feel like peer pressured to fit in and eat what they were eating.
So you've obviously gone through that. What did you do when somebody brought you that? What was what went through your head? Someone goes, here, Nat, I brought you
I made
a
you
cake
this
today.
cake.
You know, I'd feel bad,
Spend
so I'd
hours
eat it.
making
Yeah, I'd eat it because I felt guilty. I was like,
But what
oh,
about in Photoshoot? What did
no
you do
way.
to change?
That's what I mean. Like, you've
changed?
obviously changed. What did you do to overcome it? Like, what was the?
I just said no.
You just
I
said
just
no.
said, nah, I'm not having it. I was like, I don't want it. I said, that's not gonna. I just say no, and I leave it at that. Whereas now people don't really try and bother.
Done it long enough now,
That,
they've
yeah,
seen
I've done
those.
it long enough. Yeah, they understand now, which is great. You know,
Yeah.
I think the most important thing was to be really firm with my friends and co-workers. Like, no, I don't want it. Just stop asking, and then after a while they just stop asking, and now that's just like who I am, and they just don't bother.
Yeah.
It's all
Which
cool.
is great. Yeah, it's all cool, and everyone's so accepting.
Yeah,
Which is nice.
good.
Yeah.
And I remember you were crying on our last measure, and you made me cry.
Yeah.
And I think was that just kind of because you've been trying for so long, and you finally.
Yeah. I've tried for a very long time. You know, very, very long time, and just never had good coaches to get me through it.
And was it just about looking hot, or was it also that you felt good about yourself because you could do it?
Yeah.
Because you had.
Yep.
You
Proved
achieved your
yourself.
goal.
Yeah, I achieved my goal. Yeah.
You am I putting words into your mouth?
No. It's like I achieved something that I'd wanted to achieve for a long time. You know, I wanted to lose weight. I wanted to lose body fat. You know, I always wanted to do the photo shoot. That's what drew me to Tough. So, I think I was just overwhelmed at the end because I was like, I've done it. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a really, really, really good experience. Yeah.
So I've got a couple of questions here from our mate Gary, so I'll just let you answer to Gary. If I can get him to... Go on, Gary, say something. No? Come on.
Nat, hey, can I ask you a question? Are you single? And you're a hairdresser. Is that true?
Yes, I am single. I'm very proudly single. I've been single for 2 years now, so we need to get some sexy men into tough. Thanks.
I think you've got to volunteer.
Is it Gary? Damn it. Sorry, Gary, but you're not
Gary
on time.
heard that.
Now that you're like basically a photo shoot model and you have made these big changes, how has that impacted the dating scene for you?
Oh, you know what? My Tinder profile gets a few extra likes. Get a few creepers on the old Instagram, you know, that's about it. But they're no, not interested in any of them.
Yeah, thanks, Gary, for your great questions.
Sorry but you're not my type.
So let's jump back into some more serious questions. What were the most difficult aspects of your transformation? Like we've touched on, you know, having some sabotaging friends, or you know, having wrong guidelines that you weren't able to get success with. What are the most difficult things that you've had in your transformation?
In Photoshoot? Or...
Just from the start of your journey and then to where you are now.
Yeah, that's the friends thing would definitely be the most difficult. That's probably the hardest thing. Everything else, Photoshoot, that was hard. The double days is probably what I found the hardest.
Double day training.
Oh, double day training, yeah. I can see your smile.
How long did you do double day training for?
Like 6 weeks.
6 weeks, okay.
Yeah. No, maybe a month. A month to 6 weeks. Yeah.
And okay, tell us a little bit about that phase. Like, tell us your day in the photo shoot of, you know, you said it going for 4 to 6 weeks.
Yep.
What was your day like?
So,
Start from your alarm, I don't even know if you set an alarm.
Going off at like 6 in the morning, doing 45 minutes to oh no, that was fast cardio. No, so I'd come in the morning and do my weight training.
Right.
And then go to work all day. I'm a hairdresser, so I was on my feet all day running around like a mad woman. And then packing 2 lots of gym clothes I found very difficult. And then coming back to the gym and doing, I think it was like about 45-minute HIIT session of some sort, and there was lots of burpees and squat jumps and everything like that. It was absolutely brutal.
Oh, those were the finishes on the end, right?
That was a finisher, yeah. That was the hardest I found. The double fasted cardio, I didn't mind that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mind that at all. It was the double days. Going to the gym before and after work was just, that was tough. That was tough. Yeah.
I haven't done that for...
No, it's just something that it's like double day training is definitely something that can push you out to a goal at a faster rate.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I've learned was how you structure it is how you set up for success. You know, there's a certain amount of volume, and what we did with the morning and evening training was that there had to be at least 4 hours apart, which is easy if you're putting it before and after your you know, your career or your job. So your AM training would always be heavier type training.
Yeah.
So there was the weights where it was a focus on, you know, maybe lower reps or more intense workouts with higher loads. And then the evening was more like a pump workout.
Yeah.
So focusing on, you know, getting some blood flow to the muscle, getting a pump, and, you know, maybe a few finishes in there like for fat loss type thing. But it was more circuit work in the evening, and then in the morning was more your heavy resistance training.
Yeah.
So the reason why we set it up like that is because the nervous system is better and more awake. So the stimulus of the extra heavy load was to hit the nervous system in the morning, and then at night time it's more like your hypertrophy work and, you know, or fat loss circuits. So in that way you're not training the same thing. You might be hitting the same muscles, but it's a different structure and different target from the AM and to the PM. And it allowed you guys just to progress a little bit faster.
Yeah.
Not saying that you do, every day. And
No,
a lot of people,
every day, that was good.
a lot of people try to do that. They try
Yeah.
and train, 2-3 times a day. You see lots of females these days. I'm going to go do a spin class, then they go do a boxing class, and then they got another third class of body combat, and they literally just run themselves into the ground.
Yeah.
So this was a push for a 4 to 6
Yeah.
week period, and then we built up to it.
Yeah.
We did it, and then it dialed it off.
Yeah.
So now, like, you're kind of pushing towards a competition.
Yeah.
And you did that photo shoot. Between the photo shoot and up till now, what's your regular training schedule?
I trained 5 days. I think it was 4 days for a little while after photo shoot, and now it's back up to 5. Just 5 days.
Yep.
Once a day training.
And how are you seeing your progress training?
Yeah, good. I've got got my one-on-one sessions with you, Adam, which
Yes.
Kat and I have nightmares about, but I find it really good to give us that real extra push. Like, yeah, it's good. I feel good. I feel like I'm noticing like changes in my body, and I feel really good at the moment. So
Going
what
some
about-
glutes.
yeah,
What about
going-
your,
yeah.
how much cardio have you done since the photo shoot?
None.
None, no cardio. Done no cardio and you maintained your body.
Yeah,
My goodness,
No
what a
cardio.
surprise.
no car. Sometimes you put a sneaky sled in our workouts, but that's about it.
I'm just touching on like a lot of the misconception about body composition is that I need to do tons of cardio.
No, I don't do
So
any.
you just predominantly lift weights,
Yes.
right? Just wanted to check that one off for listeners.
Yes, just how I like it.
All right, Christy, do you have another question you'd like to?
How excited are you for your comp?
I think I'm very excited. I think everyone knows that is close to me that I'm really excited about it. I talk about it a lot. Probably annoying to
How
my
many
friends.
weeks out are we now?
13 weeks out.
13 weeks.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's exciting. So it'll be interesting to prep through the Christmas period. But I'm not a drinker. I don't
Give
go
your
out.
Christmas day off.
Yeah, I'm not a drinker, so I don't party I'm not bothered about that at all. So.
And
yeah,
so you had a
bring it
measure
on.
today with Christy.
Yep.
Where did you check in at?
So what am I now? Down to 14.4?
Something like that.
Yeah.
On my calipers.
No,
We don't know whether that's an
Yeah.
actual body fat percentage. Kind of close.
Yeah,
It's actually
so-
probably something that's good to quickly touch on as well. Like, why do you use calipers, Christy?
Well, you can't rely on the scales when you're doing weight training because we're wanting to put on muscle. So you might be hopefully gaining muscle but losing fat. So the calipers measure your subcutaneous fat.
Mm.
And it gives a bit of a guess at what your body fat percentage is. I don't really care whether we got it right, but what I do care about is that we can measure progress.
Yeah.
So, like, you've done it for a while now, and that you're pretty consistent with.
Pretty consistent. We sometimes have off measures, don't we, Natalie?
Yeah, we do.
And Natalie takes it all in her stride and doesn't bat an eyelid if it shows that she hasn't lost anything.
I think it's just important that we touched on that because a lot of people out there go, "Oh, I got to measure with somebody, and I'm 7%." It's like you've seen people who have done actual, say, DEXA scans, and these more.
Well, even DEXA scans
they're a little bit more
are
accurate.
a measured guess.
So, but they're just like stating definitively, this is what I am, and they had say like 7 upper body caliper measures,
it would
and
very
there's no
much
lower
depend
body.
on, yeah.
So we don't use it as a definitive number, like to define you. This is what you are. You're 14% Nash. It's a tool that you use, Christy, for measuring their progress and knowing what to do next in whatever phase that they're going to push through.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I need to try and not get so hung up on them.
Yeah,
That's like
yeah.
my goal.
It's funny, I was having a conversation with a client this morning, and I think I came up with a new saying that's better than the old toenails one. And I said, you are not fat, you have fat,
Yep.
just the same as you have muscle, but you are not muscle.
Oh, there you
That
go.
makes sense. Yeah, that's probably better than the toenail thing.
And I think we
Walk
might
around like,
finish
oh,
on
I'm
that.
so muscle. Man, I can't believe I'm so muscle.
I think we should finish on that inspirational quote.
Mm.
Definitely. Well, thanks for coming in today, Nat.
No
we look
worries.
forward to possibly catching up with you after you walk on that stage, and we can have a chat about your thoughts in that time period. But thanks for coming in today and sharing us with your story.
No worries.
Thanks, Christy, and
Thanks,
your
Christy.
smiles.
Bye.